This is an episode about a husband found dead in bed, a wife who said she made him a Moscow mule, and a toxicology report that changed everything. It is also about a children's book on grief, written by the woman later convicted of causing that grief herself. This is the case of Kouri and Kouri Richins. Welcome back.
Tell Me the Crime, episode 19. We are part way through being set up in our new studio, but we don't have foam pads on the wall yet.
Yep.
So we have clothes and pillows kind of scattered around the room. Hopefully that'll do. Hopefully that'll do the trick.
Looking at him,
yeah, like
putting all the things around.
And she's like, "What the hell are you doing?" Okay, so today's episode, I'm excited because I haven't heard you tell an episode in a while. So
in a while, it's like in 3 episodes in a row.
Yeah,
maybe?
so like this is good. So like, what do you have for us today? Because I'm super pumped to hear it.
Woohoo! So the title of today's episode is "The Grief Book Murder: The Case of Kouri and Kouri Richins."
The Grief Book Murder?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it.
What would you guess if I say that?
The Grief Book Murder. I don't know. Some guys like some family member died, and I guess he like writes a diary about all the things he wants to do to people, and then someone finds it, and then they start reenacting those things, and a big murder spree happens. But it's probably totally off. She's looking at me like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Okay, I'll give you the hook. I will give you the hook about the book.
Okay.
So a husband was found dead in bed.
Okay.
And then there is a children book written, inspired by the death.
Whoa. Oh.
By
okay.
blah, blah, blah.
Okay. So this person wrote a children's book after committing a murder, is what you're saying. Yeah. By the way, they can't see that. She shook her shoulders like, I'm not telling you, but you can't do that because they're going to have no clue.
Okay. But yeah, that is this children book.
Okay.
So again, a husband was found dead in bed. Okay. And his wife said that they had been celebrating a real estate deal. And she said that she made him a cocktail.
Okay.
A Moscow mule. Okay.
Okay.
So if you hear this, I just give you some lines of the story.
Yeah, she murdered him.
All right. Okay, we're done, everyone.
We're done. Yeah. But I mean, come on, right? Like, she's obviously the killer. In most cases of like a husband or a wife being murdered, it's usually the spouse. Right, like that's mostly.
That's why I was like, when I was searching and doing my research about this in the car, I was like, I don't feel so comfortable, but
whatever.
Yeah,
Let's hear it.
Okay.
I think probably the listeners are going to be pretty damn good at detecting what happens way before we say it too. So let's not pretend they're stupid.
No.
We probably have a pretty smart audience. So
of course, yeah,
right. You guys are awesome.
Okay. So at first it sounded like just a sudden tragedy, right? There is this young husband. Well, he was 39 when he passed away. And there is a wife left behind with 3 children. But then the toxicology report came back.
Right.
And this husband named Kouri Richins had fentanyl in his system.
Oh, okay. So hold on. Let's step back a second. So why did why did the wife bring up a cocktail at all? Like, why did she say that she made him a drink? Is she trying to like be like, yeah, you might want to test for poison? Like, that sounds pretty stupid of her to do. They asked her, but
they're celebrating something.
Okay. So she's just making it part of the timeline, saying, oh, we were celebrating, I made him a drink, and then he went to bed early or something. Is that what happened? Is that what she's saying happened?
Well, so she served him a drink. That's the cocktail, right, with the fentanyl. And the prosecutors later said that the fentanyl in his system was about 5 times the little dose.
Right.
So the wife actually called 911, I think the next morning, and then just told the 911 that the husband was not responsive.
Oh, okay.
And then the police did this toxicology test or something.
But what was did they have any idea at the time? Like, you know how like when the crime first happens, they often will say something like, oh, you know, we're not sure. We have to run tests and we have to do this and that. But, you know, it looks like it could be this. You know, like there's usually sort of like a preliminary, you know, idea of what happened. Did they have any indication of that?
At the beginning, it sounds like it's just a normal accident. And what I mean by normal is just tragic accident, no murder and something like that. But when the autopsy came and then the toxicology report came, the report then changed everything because Eric had fentanyl in his system. So from that moment, the question became, it's not only just why did he die, but how did the fentanyl get into his body, right?
Right. Because it's not like there's like a pharmacy you can just pop by and grab a bunch of fentanyl, right?
Yeah, but the dose is even like 5 times.
Right, which is very indicative of either the person trying to commit suicide or someone trying to murder them, because most people that are on a recreational dose are not going to go crazy like that, especially knowing how dangerous fentanyl is.
Yeah, exactly. And a year later, Kouri, the wife, published a children's book called Are You With Me? And she said that she wrote this book to help her sons understand grief and also feel connected to their dad.
Oh, wow. I bet you this is where it's going to get dark. She's going to start giving some details away in the book.
Well, it's a children's book, right?
Yeah,
There's some illustrations in it. And I checked the review today. It's 1.67.
6.7.
Yeah, it's 1.67.
Anyone with kids is probably like, oh, shut up.
So 188 ratings, 100 reviews, and a lot of people just say, oh my God, like, are you going to pay some money just to know that this is not, you know, a fiction, but this is the real thing in life?
Yeah. But I mean, people buy books all the time that are like based on real life events, like murders and stuff like that. So how is that any different, really? You know what I mean? Other than, you know, the person that wrote it is the murderer, and she's going to be getting money for it, right? So that kind of sucks.
That's sad. Yeah, but later she was arrested, and she was also charged and eventually convicted of murdering her husband by poisoning him with fentanyl.
Yeah, but how did that happen?
It's very recent.
But oh, really? Okay, so how recent is very recent?
It's May. Wait, hold on a second. Just some months ago.
Oh, some months ago. Damn. Yeah. Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, I bet you there's going to be like a whole Netflix thing on it too. Is this?
I think it's possible, like real soon, probably.
But what happened? We just jumped from
I know. That's kind of the intro.
You're building it up. Okay, all right. Let's hear how it got to that stage. Like, how did they actually catch her?
So let's talk about before this case was a famous case. I think one of the reasons for why this case becomes very famous is because this wife wrote that children's book, and then people knew that she was the one who killed her husband. Right?
Yeah.
She's just kind of like a public image or something for her. Right. But before this was a famous case, and before we talk about the cocktail and the fentanyl and some other motives here, which you probably would guess.
Right.
Which is... What do you think?
What are the motives? Well, I don't really know much about their relationship, but I mean, did one of them cheat? Was there infidelity in the relationship at all that they know about? Like, was he cheating on her and maybe she wanted revenge? Or was it like she wanted insurance money and wanted to get some financial freedom?
Because she was not only charged for the murder, definitely the money was the motive. One of the motives, probably. I don't know if it's the only
like the
motive.
sole one,
the sole one or not. But yeah, so people remember the wife, and I told you about the grief book, the children's grief book. And then Eric, at that time, when he was poisoned, he was 39 years old.
Oh, wow.
So
he's even younger than I am. That's crazy.
Yeah, but actually this year, he will be 44 years old. So the murder happened in 2022.
Huh. Oh, yeah, because, that's right, because she wrote a book about it afterwards, which means there would have been a substantial amount of time between when he was killed and when the book came out and she got, sort of famous from it.
Yeah, so he lived in Utah with definitely his wife at that time and their 3 sons. And then the way people describe him, he was a hardworking man and looks like, a family man. He was devoted to his kids, the 3 kids.
Right.
And from the outside, their family looked normal. They had a home, they had children, and Kouri, the wife, also worked real hard. Well, she was also a hard worker. She was working in real estate and also house flipping. Okay.
Yeah.
But Eric had his own work and also the business interests. But then the prosecutors later said that one of the biggest motives of this is the financial problems. There is also the trust problems. I'm not sure what the trust problems were, and also the insurance issues.
Right. So the trust problems probably, well, who knows if there was infidelity, if someone cheated on some, but I mean, that often does happen, right? There's not a lot of trust between them.
Yeah.
But understandably, I mean, she ended up killing him. So I guess he was right to be a little bit suspicious of her in some capacity, right?
So apparently the financial problem was probably very serious. And they argued, like the prosecutors argued, that Kouri was deeply in debt. And she had taken out of life insurance policies connected to her husband. And she believed that she would benefit financially, right, if he died.
Right. So this, and I mean, that's one of the biggest reasons in all these cases that we see is someone gets a life insurance policy.
Yeah, you kept asking me about this, like, what?
It's wild. Yeah, I know. You're just so naive of these little things. I love it. I love it, though, because I can tell you, like, you're the beneficiary. So if I die, you're getting it all, but you're not.
No.
But it's not a big deal.
I want to live with you forever.
I know. I love you too. Okay, so anyway.
So there is the debt here. The serious
financial issues
problems.
seem to be like the thing that like drive people to murder or drive people to divorce. It's like the number one cause of divorces. And it's kind of funny because we met each other dead broke. So dead broke, like totally changing jobs and just moving countries and stuff. So if we can survive this, we're pretty good, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. But the poisoning with the fentanyl that made him die was actually not the first, So before that, there was another attempt. I was trying to find the sources if probably I could find the information whether the husband confronted her at all or not, but I could not find it at all. But the first poisoning attempt became something after the police found about this case, right? Like the reasons for why the husband passed away. But before Eric died in March 2022, prosecutors said that there had been another frightening incident. And that happened around Valentine's Day, just a few weeks before his death.
Okay. And what was it? What happened?
She gave him a sandwich.
Oh, of course. Yep.
And apparently there was something in that sandwich,
but
I was not very sure.
Or was it they just don't know?
Yeah. So the prosecutors said that this was not just an allergic reaction, but there was the fentanyl. But maybe at that time, the dosage was not as high as the one that finally killed him.
Right. Dang. Okay.
Yeah. So there was no immediate arrest after the sandwich incident, for sure. And that only became part of the larger case later after Eric died, and the investigator started looking back at what had happened before his death, like a few weeks before his death.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. And I think I found something that...
So she must have just taken him to the hospital at that point, right? Like, I mean, for the sandwich thing, like, how did she fail on that one? You're saying the dosage probably wasn't high enough, right? And then who found him? Does it say anything about that? Like, because I wonder, how did she fail at that one?
That's a great question. I'm not really sure about it.
Maybe she thought that'd be enough, and like she tried to, dose him and then leave, right? Like if she left the house and then came back to quote unquote find him there, dead. But maybe it was at that point he was still alive, and
he was still alive, and there was no report made, right, for that one.
Right.
But some information also mentioned that Eric also told some of his friends that, hey, if there is something happen, you have to, it's her. If there is something happen,
he said that?
Yeah,
oh, wow,
something like that, but that's not the exact word. Because saying like, I think my wife tried to poison me is not a small thing, right? That's a huge thing. But he was suspicious already.
That's crazy. I just imagining someone like your partner who's supposed to be like your best friend is capable of that. That's wild.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you get a divorce? Like if I thought you poisoned me, sorry, but like that's crazy. Don't worry, she's looking at me like, don't say that.
Just like, and like in me, oh my God, that's why I told you from the beginning, right? I told you from the beginning, oh my God, this case is not really nice,
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine. No, I know you wouldn't. I know you'd never do something like that.
Okay,
anymore.
So that's the kind of the pieces that we could find about this case and how the police started connecting everything, right? So the case did not come together all at once. It developed step by step. So first, Eric died suddenly, and at the beginning, people thought that that's normal, maybe heart attack. But the medical examiner performed an autopsy, the toxicology testing, and then they found something in it.
Well, 39 isn't, I wouldn't think that's a normal age to die in your sleep, right? Like 39 is 39. Super young.
Well, there is a possibility,
but
that's not common.
But it's not common. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So then the investigators started looking at his wife's finances, the life insurance, the communications,
right?
And then
and she probably just got
access.
And she probably just got the life insurance policies right before his death. Is that what happened? Because I feel like people do that all the time, and that's one of the biggest things that flags them as a potential suspect is that they're impatient and they get the life insurance policy, then kill the person, and then try to cash in right away. It's like you're doing two things too fast. In reality, if you loved your partner, like the odds of you just getting a life insurance policy and then them dying right after that is super small.
Okay, I probably missed this. Missed this detail, or I don't really understand this.
Okay, but what's that?
Like the life insurance will not. I mean, I think the person will get it after the person passed away, right?
Yeah. So if I died, right?
Yeah.
Then the money, any life insurance policy that I have would go to you, but you would have to go claim it.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too, right? Like, do you think that like if I died, you would be likely looking to see how you can claim my life insurance right away? Probably not. Right? Like that would be the last thing on my mind.
Grief. Yeah.
Yeah. You're grieving. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of these people, the worst thing, like one of the things that gets them caught is that they pull out the life, like I said, they pull out the life insurance Yeah, they pulled the life insurance right away, in addition to having just filed the life insurance policy right before he died. So it's like right before and then right after. The sequence of events is way too quick. So it's just, I don't know, it's pretty stupid.
Yeah. Well, the prosecutors said that she had taken out the life insurance policies related to Eric, for sure. So it's maybe a little faster, but I'm not sure about how far from the death that she took the life insurance.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sorry, go ahead if you were going to continue.
No, they just said that she believed that Eric's death would solve the financial problems that she was facing at that time. So there was this.
Right. But what evidence did they actually have against her? Right. Like so far, all I'm hearing is like circumstantial evidence, right? Where, yeah, she pulled out the life insurance policy, you know, right before he died and then cashed it in right after, if that's what happened.
Well, there are some.
But that's not necessarily like a crime, right? Like that's, you know, something that is possible.
No.
Deals with
but at the beginning, I mentioned to you that she was charged with a couple of things. So it's not only the murder.
But it's also financial fraud or something.
Yeah, they found a forgery. So she was falsifying a document or signature.
Was that for the life insurance?
To make it look real?
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
And then the fentanyl was from the cocktail that she was serving.
Right, but how do they know? How do they know
that it was her that gave the fentanyl?
Yeah.
Well, that's a great question, because that's what makes the society conflicted. There are no certain evidence related to maybe like fingerprints or
so it was mostly,
she could get it. So it's mostly
circumstantial. Yeah. Okay. So they didn't actually have any real evidence linking it to her. Because for me, if I was on a jury, I would be thinking, okay, yeah, there's a lot of evidence that she may have done it, but they consistently say in trials, they say, you need to prove without a doubt that person did it. And if there's no indication that she actually poisoned him, right? Like, I mean, if there's nothing linking her to that, like, do they have some sort of, does she have a friend that has, does she have like a hookup for fentanyl, for like drugs and whatnot? Is she friends with a doctor who can prescribe those things? Does someone prescribe it in her name? Like, all those sorts of things would be a little bit more damning evidence. Or like finding fentanyl traces on the glass that he had and then finding her fingerprints. And she already admitted to giving him the drink, but at least, some more tangible evidence that it was directly tied to her.
It's really unclear, because the defense also argued that the state was just making assumptions. And they also challenged the credibility of witnesses, right? Because they questioned whether the evidence really proved how Eric got the fentanyl, whether it's from her or from somewhere else or someone else. We don't really know.
Well, how do we know it wasn't him that accidentally overdosed himself? Right? Like, I mean, what if he, was having troubles, and they obviously were having a lot of troubles financially and, intimately or whatever it is. But they, what if he wanted to just, take a night off and have some fentanyl to relax, and maybe he just didn't know the proper dosage and he overdosed.
Well, I don't know. That's
who
a
knows,
possibility,
right? But these are all things that, if you can say that is a possibility, then you can't find him guilty. You can't find her guilty, or at least you shouldn't. But maybe we're missing things from this case that we don't know.
Yeah,
yet, right?
But some other evidences that I mentioned to you about the forgery. That's kind of leading toward her. So maybe...
Well, the forgery, yes, that is leading towards her, and it is evidence, but it's circumstantial evidence, right? Yeah. It's just like evidence that suggests that she did it. Like, look, to me, if I were to guess, it does sound like she did do it, right? She had all the reasons to do it, and she did forge that document to get life insurance. I mean, it's just, that's sketchy. But and he also got sick, and he also said, if anything happens to me, it was my wife. Like that, it's almost certainly her, right? Like, so I'm not saying she didn't do it. I'm just saying, as a jury, I thought that you had to have more damning evidence and it not just be circumstantial. But I don't know.
Yeah, well, we don't know. Everything will always have two sides, right? We don't really know the exact truth.
Yeah.
But
so then what happened? What happened at the end? Like, what did she... I'm assuming
she not guilty, and she maintained her innocence.
Yeah, she maintained her innocence, so she pleaded not guilty, and then what happened?
So in May 2026, Kouri Richins was sentenced. The day was especially painful because it was Eric's birthday, and he would have turned 44.
Wow, that's quite the day to get a conviction.
And instead, his family was in court for the sentencing of the woman convicted of killing him. And she was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Wow.
And the judge described her as too dangerous to ever be free. I also saw the news that the kids they're saying, well, they're telling the psychologists that it's better for her to just stay in prison because they feel that they're not safe if she
the
comes
kids
back
said
free.
that. Okay, so the kid, so that's pretty telling. If kids are definitely malleable and they're very suggestible, right? But so I guess, if someone was whispering in their ears, it could turn their mother against them. But to me, it sounds like if the kids are that quick to turn against their mom, then there might be a good reason for it. They might be.
I think one of the kids
have seen
was
things
7.
that I haven't seen, or that we haven't seen.
Yeah, I think one of the kids was 7 years old, and another kid was 9 years old when that happened.
Yeah, so those kids, they're old enough then.
Yeah,
they know a lot more than we give them credit for. And
I think they kind of like had statements from the kids, but I'm not really sure. I do not have the exact statements. I just heard it from the news that the kids even do not call her mom or mother anymore. It's just
really,
the name, and telling the psychologist that they do not feel safe if she's around.
Wow. I mean, well, if you think that she actually killed your dad, I mean, you wouldn't feel safe either, because you're like, if you can kill family, what's to stop you from killing us? Yeah. Right? Like, because he's part of the family.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
So that's the story of today.
Holy crap. Yeah, thank you for that. That was great. I mean, that's insane, though.
That's insane. It's very recent. May 2026, which was last month.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
In May, it didn't happen to be the 4th, my birthday now. No? Okay. I don't know. But that was great. Thank you. And I guess we will see you next week.
And would like to also thank you for our listener.
Oh, yes. Thank the listener. I thought she was thanking me. I was like, oh, really? Cool. That's awesome.
I thank you.
No, I know you do. But yes, thank you everyone for listening. We appreciate you, and tune in next week. We'll have another juicy one for you. All right. Tell me the crime.
Bye.